Is this the best change incoming? Maybe in the next major, but in the soonish future of War Thunder. Hello guys, once again it's Matt. Thank you all the members and patrons. Make sure to subscribe. And yesterday, the day before, I don't remember actually. Let me check. It was around what, May 20th. So yeah, the day before yesterday, they actually posted that CM cover disclosures, from the community managers. And there's one little thing that a lot of people missed about that, and I think it will be basically the best thing about the next patch, or, um, maybe an addition for the future. Basically, they said the CM team saw your feedback surrounding air battles and the number of players in them and spoke to the devs about this to see if something could be done. The devs are planning something for this. I can't write specifics or give a timeline, but it's being looked into as of now. So yes, guys, finally, at least it may be underwhelming. We don't know. We have to wait for whatever they are planning to be added is added, right? But at the end of the day, this is probably the best thing about these, posts that they did. Why? Because they are probably going to change, on the very least, the amount of players per match, or even maybe the maps themselves, or some form of situation to help it out with the situation that everybody complains about top tier, especially, right? Of course, this goes to every single jet tier, to be honest. For prop aircraft, it's fine, and even early jets. But once you get to the missile side of things, people always complain that it's too overwhelming. There's too many things happening at the same time, meaning that people don't know what is happening, and you eventually get killed without knowing that a missile is even being shot at you, which is kind of a problem, right? We don't want, like the community in general, don't want to be kind of in a unlucky position that you will just die no matter what you do, right? They really, I mean, everybody wants to be in a place that you can do something to defend yourself and to actually attack other people as well, right? I can always talk about this with the semi-active radar homing missiles, that a lot of people thought that it was kind of, too much in performance, and imagine if they didn't change anything, how the Fox 3s would be. But now they actually did change it. They made notching and chaff, to be honest, be a lot, more effective. Sometimes it depends on the situation. It's kind of weird, but still, it is a lot easier to make missiles miss from a very long distance. Up close, it's kind of a non-factor, but if you played with some form of BBR missile lately and you shot from a very far distance, you will notice how it's just changed a little bit. And it changed it for the better, because now it is a little bit harder to actually get a kill, which means that when the Fox 3s come, they're not gonna be that OP machine that everybody thought it was going to be. It is going to be kind of fine, right? So they are tweaking stuff to make it a lot more fun before they add another type of missile, right? And the same goes here. The example is basically the same. I think the majority of the deaths that people get, that you eventually get mad about the game in top tier, is basically missiles coming out of nowhere. And even though you have your situational awareness on point, the missile just have too much range. You cannot see it coming. And with the IRCCMs and the way the missiles are working, and will work in the future, the more we get to better missiles, we eventually get to a point that it is just, I mean, if you get shot, you're basically dead, right? And of course, this is something that top tier will kind of have to face. It's kind of problematic, but there's nothing they can actually do apart from like little tweaks that I was talking about with the missiles. But there is one thing that will help with that, which is basically changing the maps, or at least changing the amount of players per match, right? If you get a low number or a lower number of players inside any ARB match, or even arcade or simulator, I mean, simulator doesn't matter too much, because the maps are so immensely big that it doesn't matter on that side of things. But on RB, it's kind of like the main focus, right? If you have a lower number of players, it will mean that you have a lower chance of just getting destroyed out of nowhere because you're not looking at 5 directions at the same time, right? This is the main problem. You cannot have it's not humanly possible to have such a high situational awareness that you will have a chance of dealing with targets in a way that it is in the game right now, right? I think the majority of the tactics that I use, for example, to not get in those situations where there's so many targets behind you, and you cannot just. I mean, there's a target above you, there's a target behind you, and then there's friendlies around, and it's just a massive furball. The only way that I can feel right now to avoid those situations is just to avoid the situation of getting into that, right? Trying to, kind of kill the targets on the edges first, and then going in when the numbers are a little bit down, and that makes you be able to focus on one problem at a time, and it helps a lot. And with the lower number of players in a match or something like that, at least in certain BRs, it would mean that people are going to actually be able to pay attention to all of this stuff that is happening, here and there, all over the place at the same time, right? Because you have a lower number of targets to actually attack you, and you have a lower number of targets to attack as well. So, for example, missiles can be more effective right now, especially for aircraft that don't carry that many missiles. Of course, it means as well that aircraft that carry a lot of missiles, like an Su-27, can be even more OP than they are right now. So, there is a little bit of a wiggle room that they need to think about what they're going to do, especially when the Fox 3s are at it, because of course when Fox 3s are at it, the number of Fox 3 missiles and radar missiles in general will increase severely, especially because there are aircraft, for example the F-16, that can only carry 2 Sparrows, but if a target or a player wants, it actually can carry 6 AIM-120s, right? So it will increase the amount of radar missiles that we see in a match. So if we don't see, and especially with an active radar homing missile, which is fire and forget, we need to see a change in that. And it's amazing that they are actually taking a look onto that. This will really help the game. Hopefully they do the correct thing and ask the community exactly what they want, because that's the thing. They might think that just decreasing the amount of players or increasing the map or whatever can be the best option, but the best option is to ask the community, do a poll and ask them what they want: a bigger map, less players, etc., right? A limitation or whatever they want, and hopefully they do that. So yeah guys, let me know in the comments what you think about it. I think it might be too little to actually cover every problem that our ARB has right now, but it's a start. And yeah, it's one of the main problems that I see in the game right now. It's basically what ARB kind of become in top tier. So yeah guys, I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments what you think about it. See you.